Fellow landlords, I'm Matthew Lyman, the host of the Landlord Advocates. Many of you have been asking on and off social media that after receiving funds from the Emergency Rental Assistance Program, ERAP, can I evict my tenant? And the answer to that question is yes. There are 4 ways that you can make this happen. I'm going to share those 4 ways with you right now. Number 1, if the tenant stops paying rent after ERAP paid. That is one way. If ERAP pays for the calendar year 2021, January 2021 to December 2021, and the tenant then stops paying rent from January of 2022, February 2022, and ongoing, you can evict them based upon that. You can also evict based upon rent that was not paid for prior to ERAP that they owe. Now, don't make in 2018 and 2017, the court can shun that and call it stale rent and not give you a judgment on that nor an eviction. So most of the time it's after ERAP pays that you're not getting any rent. In that case, you can take them to court for non-payment of rent eviction. Just make sure that all the paperwork is properly served upon the tenant. The second way that you can do this is called an objectionable tenancy. This is very, very difficult. What that means is that your tenant is creating an environment that is dangerous to the building. There's trash laid all over. Their apartment is a hoarder. They're creating much noise, not allowing for the quiet enjoyment of the other tenants and the neighbors. They're destroying the property. They're unruly. Their behavior is not conducive to what should be living in that apartment. The problem with that is that many courts across New York State will want you to prove beyond any preponderance of the evidence that this is happening. Then they'll want to have all the evidence splayed out on the bench. They may want a room full of witnesses that can fill a football stadium that will back up your claim as to how the tenant is living in an objectionable manner. That's very difficult. It can be done, but make sure that all your evidence is so beyond any common sense that anyone that says this is not happening is being highly unreasonable. Make sure that you have that evidence. You'd be best to go to professionals to look at the evidence that you have before moving forward on an objectionable tenancy eviction. Another way that you can do this is that if you have a 4-unit or less and you want to move in an immediate family member, you can do that. Now, who is an immediate family member? Well, this is the list that you're seeing on the screen right now that tells you what New York State considers to be an immediate family member. Now, we have seen, fellow landlords, that New York State deems an occupant that you never moved into the property to be a tenant after 1 month. You're an occupant, a month later you're a tenant. Well, now we're going to turn around and use that same ideology that they have to benefit you. So therefore, you want to move in an immediate family member from that list. Do so for 1 month. After that month of them living there, they move out. And moving in, make sure that the power is on in their name, they're getting mail delivered there, make it very legitimate that they are living there for 1 month. After that, they move out, you move somebody into the apartment that is going to pay the rent, and pay the rent that you're asking for that apartment. That could be $300 or $400 more a month than is now the fair market rate for rent in your neighborhood, rather than what it was 2 or 3 years ago. That's another method of doing that. Method number 4 is just a simple holdover eviction. Meaning that you just want the tenant to move, the lease is expired, they're month to month, I just want them to move. Now you have to be very careful here because when you collect any money from ERAP, you agree not to evict the tenant for 1 year after receiving ERAP on a normal holdover. but there's a way to get this ball rolling faster for you, to get the tenant out faster as to what you want. And here's how you do it. The tenant, again, had their rent paid from ERAP for the calendar year 2021, January through December 2021. Your tenant will assume has been there for more than 2 years. You know that means a 90-day notice to go bye-bye through eviction in a court of jurisdiction. What you can do, you don't have to wait until January 2023 to get that ball rolling. What you can have done is have a professional, an outside person, serve upon your tenants that 90-day notice to move in September of 2022. Because then that will include all of October, November, and December of 2022, hence the 90 days. Then come January, the first week of January, you can apply to your local court of jurisdiction for an eviction based upon a holdover. What you want to make sure of, what you really want to make sure of though, is that the expiration of the 30, 60, 90 days is at least 1 day prior to the anniversary of their tenancy. So then, in other words, are the 4 ways that you are able to evict your tenant after receiving funds from ERAP. Now, you may want to do this process on your own, get it started, do it, whatever. We advise that you do not do that. We advise that you hire professionals that will get this job done right for you, procedurally get it done right for you, and represent you in court in ways that you don't even know how to do it for yourself. No disrespect intended, but do not harm your goal by trying to save a few dollars by doing it yourself. Hire professionals to do it for you and get those tenants out of the property that you have been wanting to do for so long. Landlords, stay tuned for future videos because there's going to be many more. Until then, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so that you'll be made aware of other videos. Share this video with other landlords and real estate investors. Leave comments below because we do respond. Until then, take care.